Hi, my name is Jackie Ordonez, and this is my final interview with an entrepreneur. So, before I get into my interview, I'll just talk a little bit about what I feel the definition of an entrepreneur is. When I hear the word entrepreneur, I get the image of someone who sees a need and fills it by organizing and managing the business, regardless of the fact that there's usually high risks involved. Um, when I say high risks, I mean in terms of initiative and finances. I also think a true entrepreneur really enjoys the thrill of taking a risk. I chose to interview my uncle, Mark Cannon, the founder and owner of Cannon Tree Service, which is a tree removal and maintenance business that's located in Weston, Connecticut, which happens to be where I live. Mark was born and raised in Weston, and he started this business in 1988. What makes Cannon Tree Service unique is that it has remained a very small business, but it has also become increasingly successful. To this very day, Cannon Tree Service still does not have a website, they just have an email address and a phone number. Their company, his company, relies solely on word of mouth, recommendations, newspaper advertising, and the yellow pages to increase its clientele. Some of the Cannon Tree Services returning clients include Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones and Oscar award winning actor Christopher Walken. So, this is a picture of my uncle and his brother. Um, I'll explain this picture a little bit more in a minute, but I just want to give you an idea of what it is that they do. Um, I started off by asking him some questions about being an entrepreneur. And my first question was, how do you define success? And he told me that he defines success as having surpassed a goal and ultimately achieving your main goal. And he also said that three skills that you need to have to be a successful entrepreneur are patience, passion, and abstract thinking. He kind of explained this a little further. He said that you really need patience because starting a business isn't easy and it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a long time and there are going to be bumps in the road. You have to have patience to stick it out through all those things and not lose faith that your business could become very successful. And this goes along with passion because if you don't have passion for what you're doing or what this business is, you're not going to want to put in that time and that effort to wait it out, sit through the process. He also said abstract thinking. He said that there are problems that you're going to run into, and you have to be able to look at them from a different point of view than a traditional point. Um, your solution might not work, and you need to look back at it and see what you can change or what a different way you can approach the problem. Um, we kind of talked about the sacrifices that you have to make to be a successful entrepreneur, and we talked about his least favorite part about being an entrepreneur. Uh, he said that the biggest sacrifice he had to make was giving up time with his family. And also, in the earlier years, he had a lot less time to do the things that he loved, like skiing and biking, because he had to spend his time and energy on the business and be focused on the business. In terms of his least favorite part about being an entrepreneur, he said that it's extremely time consuming to start and run your own business. And he doesn't, at least in the earlier years, he didn't like how responsible he was for his employees. It kind of scared him that one bad decision could change the game in a second, and suddenly he wouldn't just be responsible for his own family suffering from his decision, but also the families of his employees. Um, we talked a little bit about his most memorable experience as an entrepreneur, and he said that it really hit him when he realized he was going to be able to provide for his family because of the business he had started. So, as I mentioned before, uh, one of the big parts of being an entrepreneur is taking a risk. And I mentioned that entrepreneurs really, they kind of love that risk. So, my uncle is a very big thrill seeker and he'll do really anything that's very dangerous and could kill him. Um, and this is part of why he does what he does. Um, he said, I asked him if he could never work again, if he would, and why. And he said that he would like to say that he wouldn't work again, but he knows it's not true because he just loves the thrill of cutting down these massive trees and like not getting hurt from it. Like he just loves it. He loves how hazardous it is, and he finds that just very fun, and he doesn't think he could live without it. So in the last picture, you saw him standing on a big tree, and in this picture, you see a newspaper article about a family who went on vacation and a tree fell on their house. So when I asked him about his greatest achievement in his career, he said that he thought his greatest achievement was in September 2006 when he was called to take down this massive tree that was easily 100 years old and had fallen on this house after a big storm. And that was probably his favorite moment of his entire career. Um, in terms of what he enjoys the most about doing what he does, he said he loves the satisfaction of improving someone's property and he lives for the end results and the happy reactions from his clients. And he just loves the beautification aspect of what he does. So that was my interview with an entrepreneur. Thanks for listening.